Hey, they don't like the truth.
Well, they don't want to hear the truth.
They can't handle the truth.
Grandpa is the truth.
Grandpa lied. You know, before we get into this video, I wanted to drop something on y'all. I'm still having these psychological problems, and I'm still having these crazy dreams. I went to my private stash, rolled me up a big fat blunt, drank 3 glasses of 151 rum and coke, chased it down with a cold beer and a tall glass of wine. That alcohol sucker punched me, man. I felt like I was walking on the moon. I crashed out in the bed and started dreaming. The air surrounding the earth lifted me up. I felt light as a feather as I began traveling through space and time with the speed of a bullet. There was nothing to hold on to. For me, it was a transformational experience of a lifetime. And then my body put on brakes. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was the one and only, the legendary Mr. Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was a great speaker, a civil rights leader. He was against slavery. He was a writer, and he was a presidential consultant. Now that's amazing, considering he never had a formal education. Excuse me, Mr. Douglas, we've been having a lot of trouble with these young, ignorant niggers down here on earth. They're disrespecting Black History Month, talking about it's the shortest month of the year. We shouldn't celebrate Black History Month. They talking about we should celebrate it every day. You know, you'll never see a white man condemning his own history. You'll never see an Italian, a Jew, an Indian, or any other race putting down their own history. You'll only see and hear a dysfunctional, arrogant ass nigger on YouTube putting down his own history. Why don't they think? And Mr. Douglas gave me a serious look and responded, they don't think because they can't think. You must realize who you're dealing with. These nutty, deranged circus clowns represent a generation of misfits and degenerates. The good Lord knows they are lunatics. My brother, you must learn to ignore them. I beg you, you must learn to ignore these simple-minded morons. I myself, I find them quite comical. They have no self-esteem and they look at everything from a negative perspective. Take, for example, you take a glass of water. Positive people will say the glass is half full. Negative people will say the glass is half empty. Negative people will say Black History Month is the shortest month of the year. But positive people will say they chose February because of me. I, Frederick Douglass, was born in February. These negative morons talk about Black History Month is the shortest month of the year. Every other month in the year has 30 to 31 days. What are you crying and whining about? 2 or 3 days? This demonstrates they are very negative people. These idiots talk about why don't we celebrate Black History Month every day? Do you celebrate Christmas every day? Do you celebrate Thanksgiving every day? Do you celebrate New Year's Eve every day? Do you celebrate your birthday every day? It's not practical, and only a fool would make a statement like that. Now check this out. Unlike a lot of other major holidays and celebrations, Black History Month is celebrated the entire month of February. In the 50s, 60s, and 70s, Black people had class. They took pride in how they looked. Today, These young fools look like who did it and what happened. They take pride in not matching. They have taken on the characteristics of a clown. That's what clowns do. They don't match. I was very displeased with the mindset of how these slaves embraced the movie, The Black Panther. I found it to be very funny, wearing dashikis and jumping up and down, acting like they won something. They were so happy. They were acting like God had touched them. They were screaming, "This is a movement, not just a movie." This Negro only gets excited when the white man produces something. If a black man produces something, he will find fault in it. Remember, I said produce. The black man did not produce the Black Panther. The white man did. They had a black cast, but they did not produce it. The white man grossed over $400 million off the movie. How much money did the black man profit? These slaves were so happy that the white man gave them a black cast, they never thought about the money. The movie Black Panther was produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studio Motion Pictures. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. Did you know that Walt Disney was a racist? He stated he would never hire a black person as long as he lived. I just thought I'd throw that out there. These slaves did not support the documentary Hidden Colors or Nat Parker's Birth of a Nation. These movies were produced by black people. I guess their slave masters took the chains off their ankles and put them on their brains. The Chinese dominate the movie industry, and the reason is the Chinese do not support other people's movies. They only support and promote their movies. The Chinese are very, very intelligent people. America is a capitalist country where whoever has the most capital has all the power. This is the last door to freedom. It is to achieve economic power. That is the door to freedom. This Negro does not believe in himself. He believes in the white man, and the white man is his God. He wants to act like him, talk like him, and be like him. He will support the white man, but he won't support his own brother. That's because he actually believes that the white man's ice is always colder. He promotes white supremacy because he supports white supremacy. Without the Negro, there would be no white supremacy. Blacks are consumers and they follow trends. People who follow trends are not too intelligent. They are destined to be broke, busted, and disgusted. They will live, die, and be buried in poverty. By following trends, you become a sucker and a slave. You are handcuffed into a bondage of flashy things that have no true value. And the world has no mercy for a weak fool who screams out, "I got to have that." This is the primary reason why these Negroes always have their hat in their hand, begging the white man to help them. That's what slaves do to their slave master. On the front page of the USA newspaper, it stated that black baby boomers' children will be worse off than their parents. Scholars, intellectuals, reporters, and writers have predicted that blacks are headed towards a second slavery because they won't have any money. The Boston Globe stated that by 2053, blacks living in Boston will be worth $8. There were only about 4.25 million black single mothers in the USA in 2020. 19 million black babies have been aborted since 1973. Can you believe the black population in America is only 13%, but 40% are incarcerated? The Center for Disease Control and Prevention stated that black women have the highest rates of herpes infection in America, 48% to be exact. Black women are hit the hardest with new cases of HIV. The FBI's Universal Crime Report it stated in 2014, 90% of black people were killed by black people. Napoleon said, if your enemy is killing one another, let them continue to kill one another. If you don't care about your history, you don't care about your future. This is the last chapter for black folks. I predict that black on black crime would be the demise of black folks. Black on black crime would be like a dark, gloomy gray cloud written in blood hanging over the black man's head. A hurricane of bullets exploding like fireworks, killing and wounding innocent people. Black on black crime will rear its ugly head, leaving the streets full of blood, bullet holes, and dead bodies. Sweet, innocent children caught in a crossfire of cold steel bullets. The victims' families won't have any more sunshine in their lives. Their world will be cold like the wintertime. There is no hope. There is no future. This is the last chapter for black folks. And now, my brother, I will hold hands with our ancestors and pray to God that our Father who is in heaven give us hope and a future. I pray that God, with all of his power and mercy, not allow this to be the last chapter, but the first chapter of a new book called Life that will inspire us to love one another, respect one another, and support one another. And with that in our hearts, we will touch the face of God and make the world a better place. And then he simply walked away. And I woke up. I realized that Frederick Douglass and me, we had a lot in common. He talked about black folks, but he really cared. You see, I realize it's not the ones that go along with you. It's the ones that stay on you. Those are the ones that really care. Grandpa lied.